The project is entitled "You Can't Just Walk It Off," and that's because a lot of the times in movies or even just like in real life, coaches will tell you, just walk it off, it's okay. But brain injuries are not something you can walk off. You can't return to play after you've sustained them. It's not safe, and I want to raise more awareness for that cause. I don't believe that concussions and brain injuries are talked about enough in schools or in sports programs in my community, so I wanted to provide necessary resources for coaches and parents and even the athletes themselves. If parents and teachers and coaches are more aware of what's happening with their athletes or more understanding, I think that it can help people heal a lot faster instead of having them return to play because their coach thinks that they're fine. We need to shed light on what's happening inside of people's heads and that we need to believe them. We can't just shrug off what they're saying because they aren't showing physical symptoms, because they aren't vomiting or they aren't passing out. That's not what a concussion is. A concussion is a brain injury, and you can't see the brain, so you can't tell if it's damaged. You can't tell what they're going through. They aren't wearing a brace like they would if they sprained their ankle, or they aren't wearing a cast like if they broke their arm. It's something that's happening inside. I had 2 concussions back to back, medically called second impact syndrome, and it took me almost 11 months to heal. During that time, I saw a neurologist, I was visiting with a psychologist, and eventually I was in group therapy where we would talk about our struggles, what we were going through, and how it was so hard to handle, and we were given resources, and just the support of each other was it was very helpful. And I want these resources to be available to other people so that they aren't struggling and they aren't.
I think a concussion is trauma to the head.
Hitting your head or being hit in the head by something, and it starts out as a headache, but it kind of progresses into something more.
Concussion is when your brain gets bruised from hitting your head.
A concussion is a head injury caused by blunt force.
Well, I think it's when you fall and you hit your head on the floor or something, or when an object comes at you and it hits your head.
You hit your head, and it causes your brain to vibrate back and forth inside of your head and create symptoms that make you feel not like yourself.
Yes, I have.
I have luckily never had a concussion before.
No, I have not.
No.
I have had several concussions.
No, I don't think they have.
Yes, I took one class where they educated us on one lesson of concussions.
I took kinesiology.
No.
I don't think that I have been educated in school and through my sport on the severity of concussions, but I do believe that the resources are out there.
Football, hockey, and soccer.
I would say football, basketball, and cheer.
I believe it's football, soccer, and basketball.
Soccer, rugby, and football are the
Football, baseball, and hockey.
Football, soccer, and cheer.
No.
Yes, and that is to not put yourself in sports that could cause concussion.
Yes, if there's more safety equipment.
I think that a lot of times concussions happen unexpectedly, but I think that sports can do better about providing more equipment that's safer.
I don't think that concussions can be prevented, but I do think that we can prevent them from happening a second time and creating even worse brain damage.
blurred vision, slurred speech, and sleeping problems.
With consciousness, dizziness, and inability to make new memories.
Headache or nausea.
Memory loss, inability to learn new things, and blackout.
Really bad headaches, fatigue, and
Sensitivity to light, sensitivity to noise, and just in general headaches.
I think it's at least 3 months, but honestly, I think it'd take close to a year.
Maybe 6 months.
Depending on the severity, 1 week to never.
I think it takes at least a year for the brain to fully heal from a concussion.
Brain is different and they all heal at different rates, so I think it could take from a week to a year to never. It just depends how your brain heals.
No, most cases you don't actually lose consciousness.
No.
No.
You don't have to lose consciousness to sustain a concussion.
Drugs, alcohol, and going back to extreme contact sports.
I think continued activity in the sport that could result in like being hit in the head again, or if meds aren't working, or maybe if you fall and hit your head again.
Knowing you have a concussion, not taking time off your sport to recover.
Another concussion, doing rigorous activity, or staying out in the
I think an incorrect doctor's prescription, continuing in the sport, or falling again.
Out of the house in exposed to sunlight and noises all the time and you aren't resting properly, I think it can delay your healing.